I've been that guy. While you was at home doing this, I was in the club making moves.
Jake Paul, if this is not going to be, curated into a little dance around exhibition, could find himself in a way of getting seriously hurt here, like Francis Ngannou did. Francis Ngannou was an MMA fighter that got blasted out by Anthony Joshua.
Anthony Joshua has finally responded after Jake Paul's new training video shocked everyone online. Fans are studying every single punch. Joshua's reaction adds more hype to the fight. As a former champion, he's not easy to impress. He is clearly watching. Paul looks sharper and faster than ever. Joshua's comments show he respects Paul's hard work, but he is still confident his own experience will win the fight.
Anthony Joshua should not get in the way of Fury and Joshua. Really, in my view, it's an absolute joke. It shouldn't be sanctioned. I really don't believe it should be sanctioned. I have a sneaking suspicion that it would be a very big fight. But the biggest thing is us rubbernecking to actually see if they do get to the point where they step in the ring together. Because Jake Paul's an area-level fighter, a British area-level fighter, and Anthony Joshua is still a killer and a live heavyweight. That should not be sanctioned anywhere in the world, in my view.
It's dangerous, mate.
Very dangerous.
It brings the sport into disrepute. The people that are talking about organising that, they should have a real hard look at themselves. Because
but even Eddie Hearn's kind of teasing he doesn't like it, but you can see the glimpse of dollars.
There's no price. There is no price.
There shouldn't be.
There's absolutely no price on the planet in order to make.
Years ago, when Jake Paul was new to boxing, Joshua was surprisingly supportive. In a 2025 interview, he said Paul was good for boxing. He recognized that Paul brought new fans to the sport. Now, the fight is real. The stakes are much higher. Paul enters with a 12-1 record in 7 knockouts. This is the biggest test of his career. Joshua, a former world champion, has a strong 28-4 record.
Anthony Joshua now. How do you think that's going to go?
Man, Anthony Joshua, I don't know why I think Anthony Joshua would knock him out. No disrespect to Jake Paul, I think Anthony Joshua would knock him out. I'm saying like within like 2-3 rounds.
Yeah.
You saw what Anthony Joshua did to Francis Ngannou?
Yeah.
Come on, I never seen Francis get knocked out.
Yeah, that was huge too.
Yeah,
I mean, they're
huge.
both huge.
Yeah, he's huge. But you gotta hear the story. You gotta get Francis Ngannou in here and hear this story though.
I'd love to.
Bro, he was set up though, for real. I believe
On that
him.
fight?
Yeah, I believe him. Cause here's what they do, like what sometimes what people don't understand. Like in boxing too, I don't know a whole lot about boxing. You know, when you fight for promotion, they promote that fighter. So he's fighting in Saudi Arabia. So they was probably fighting at 3 a.m. and they had him in the locker room since like 12.
First press conference on November 21st, Joshua was direct. He called the fight massive and colossal. He said it was a major sporting event and promised no mercy. Paul was also asked about his weight. He said he had been losing weight for another fight, so moving up to heavyweight is a challenge. He expects to weigh between 215 and 225 pounds.
Team, nothing negative. He's here to do his job. I could sit up here, as I said, and try and address all the things that Jake doesn't do good. But I'm fighting Jake that's going to do everything good on December 19th. So let me focus on that. He's a good person, does his thing, great team around him, puts in the work, and that's why he's sitting here now. Anyone out there in the world that works harder than the next person deserves to be a front runner, and he's a front runner in the boxing game right now.
Respect. Jake, can I ask, it feels to me from afar, you're in a bit of a lose-lose here, because it seems like a lot of people want to see you get obliterated, right? A lot of people want to see you get your comeuppance. And if you do pull off the upset, or if this fight goes the distance, again, the whispers will start to come. People will discredit you. People will say, this, that, and the other about the fight. How do you balance that, and how do you deal with that?
Man, I've already won at every single thing in life. I'm playing on house money. I've accomplished all my dreams, said everything I was going to do, from becoming, the first influencer to become an actor on Disney, to becoming the biggest YouTuber in the world, to rising to the top of boxing and having the largest viewed fight in the history of the sport. I've accomplished everything, so this is a win-win and another challenge for myself. I've never been knocked down or knocked out even in sparring, but I'm in a sport where that happens, and I know this is dangerous, but this is no different than a soccer player, losing in the World Cup on the biggest stage. If that's how it goes, if I take one of those punches that Francis Ngannou took and I'm on the canvas, let's see how tough I am. Let's see if I can get back up. But I'm ready for that. I'm prepared for that mentally, and I know that he has to deal with me as well. This is not as one-sided fight as people think. And I have power. I have the ability to put people to sleep. And so that's why I took this challenge. And I know it's crazy and all of that, but I'm excited. I'm genuinely excited. My team's excited, and everyone believes in me, and that's all that matters.
How much do you expect to weigh on fight night?
Man, I was cutting down for Gervonta, so it's been a little tough getting back up in some strength for this, but anywhere 215 to 225, we'll see.
Okay, and I want to clear something up with you, AJ. I saw in the press release that it said that on weigh-in day, you can't weigh above 245, but post weigh-ins, you can weigh whatever you want. There's no rehydration clause or anything like that. Is that accurate?
Whatever it says, yeah, I think that's the case. But my focus, 111 kilograms is what I got to weigh in at, right? I do kilograms, not
Yeah,
pounds.
I don't know. You stumped me on that one. What is 111? Should I look at?
Jake Paul says this is his chance to prove all his critics wrong. People say he only fights smaller or older boxers. By fighting a real heavyweight champion like Anthony Joshua, he believes he can show he belongs at the top level. Paul says, when I beat Joshua, every doubt will disappear. The fight will be a real professional bout. It's set for 8 rounds with 10-ounce gloves. Joshua must weigh under 245 pounds. A win or loss will go on their official records. This is not a show, it's real boxing.
Fight a real boxer. They said, fight someone your size. They said, fight a world champion. We looked at a long list of supposed fighters for me to fight. The world. Make no mistake, this is the biggest fight of my career. I'm walking into the lion's den. I'm doing something that no one else has ever done before. I, Jake Joseph Paul, will knock out, defeat, and embarrass Anthony Joshua Friday, December 19th, live on Netflix. My voice cracked, I'm still going through puberty. The biggest fight of 2025, USA versus UK. He's got the belts, the size, the history, but I have the balls. Be careful what you wish for. Jake versus Joshua, Judgment Day. He has a 90% knockout ratio, but I have 100%.
Boxing analyst Teddy Atlas is curious about this fight. He thinks it might be too big of a step for Paul, but he also points out that Joshua was recently knocked out and has been inactive. This could make Joshua vulnerable. Atlas knows Joshua is the more skilled fighter, but he wants to see which version of Joshua shows up.
Having said all of that, this might be a step too far. Now, when I say it, I'm also... I try to be responsible. I've been in this game 50 years, so I know where not to step, where you could twist an ankle, or worse, you could break a leg or fall down. When I say that with the understanding, too, that Joshua's coming off being knocked out. Joshua hasn't fought for a year, right? But it's about a year. And there's some ghost in his attic. There are. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if he's gotten rid of some of them, but I know that in the position of a fighter coming where he's coming from, there are ghosts in your attic. I don't know if those ghosts are still taking up space. I don't know if maybe there could be no better exorcism for those ghosts than fighting a Jake Paul. That might be just the exorcism you need to clear out the attic. I don't know. That's the problem. We don't know. That's the mystery part of this. That's what makes it so, it makes it two things at once. Intriguing and...
Ryan Garcia talked about what a loss could mean for Jake Paul. He warned that Joshua's power is real. A defeat wouldn't just hurt Paul physically, it could damage his reputation and change the path of his entire career.